Welcome, everyone. Wonderful. We're here with Ziza Natur, who is based in Romania. And I would really love to welcome you to Facebook Live on my page today. And Ziza is a speaker for the online summit that I'm running, which is the Voice and Song Summit. Get unstuck in business using your voice. So, welcome today, Ziza. I'm looking forward to finding out more about what you're talking about.
Thank you so much. Very happy to be with you today. And hello to all of you who have tuned in today. Really excited about this.
Yes, isn't it interesting how we met? I mean, it's so random. Like I didn't know I was going to meet you all the way from Romania, and I think a mutual friend just said you guys need to talk. And once I had met a few people like you, I met another song, voice healer in Brazil, and I started to realize that I wasn't alone in my belief that voice can be about more than just sounding good or singing in a choir, that it has this other effect that is about empowerment and, confidence and creation, that there's something in us that can actually come out more when we have a bit of faith in ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, you are so right. And it was the same thing for me. I would keep asking myself, well, who sees the benefit in this besides singers? Who would want to train their voice or just connect with their voice besides singers or people who use their voice on stage? I mean, nobody cares about that. But then when I realized that more and more people are open to it, and it seems to be like a part of ourselves to realize when we are not connected to it. Maybe not everyone can explain it in words, but they just say, like, I've lost my voice. I can't seem to be able to express myself. And that is a hint that they haven't connected with their voice. So they are aware of the fact that something's wrong over there. And more people are starting to open themselves up to that, even if they're not professional singers, which is a huge joy to me.
It is for me too, because I feel really passionate about helping people to discover that voice. And I think from my experience speaking to people that, we get shut down sometimes by circumstances. And I know even from my own singing, I was doing a lot of singing, and then I met my now husband, but then we broke up, and then I stopped singing for 3 years. So it's almost like a heartbreak, a bereavement. It could be a teacher says something to you, but we lose our confidence, don't we?
Oh, we do. We do. And I actually have something to share with you. You remember when we did your podcast together? I
Mhm.
shared with you that I was starting a study for my degree paper, working with entrepreneurs and doing voice training just to see how this helps them grow in their business, and singing affirmations to see how these things improve their creativity or mood or focus. Funny thing is, people who were interested in being a part of this, all of them were people who were told in their childhood that they're not good at singing, that they should just shut up because they're not good and they should never sing anymore. And after a while, they started to reconnect with their voice and they're like, I enjoy this so much. And I'm so happy that I can finally sing and I don't feel that judged anymore to do that. And it was wonderful to see that it's kind of like riding a bike. So, if in the beginning they were a little bit afraid, not very sure about the pitch, after a few sessions, they started to remember it as if they were going back into the childhood when they were very open about singing. So, it was just so wonderful to see these adults getting back to that place in their childhood where they were told, you cannot do this, and coming with the adult version and saying, yes, I can. And I can enjoy it and I can feel wonderful with myself while singing. So it's a great experience and I definitely did not expect that.
That's so interesting. I mean, that's just so fascinating because it's almost like you've attracted in people who have almost a wound there
Yeah.
around self expression. And what do you think is going to happen with these business owners when they start to get their voice feeling more confident and strong?
Well, first of all, they will, as you said, they will show up much more confidently. And you know what happens when you show up with confidence? People are attracted to you with ease because they see that you are a powerhouse in your expertise, in your business, and what you do. You have more courage to make the decisions that maybe you were afraid to make in the past. And since we both know that music activates both sides of the brain, it's just easier to focus, to come up with new creative ideas in the business, and just to feel good with yourself. I mean, we underestimate the power of singing and using the voice, but nobody feels bad after singing. If you just sing in the shower, you feel good all of a sudden, right? So why not
Yeah.
feel good every day using this tool that we already have? It's within us.
Yes, exactly. We take it with us everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I know I heard a great quote from William James, who is the founder of modern psychology, and he said, I'm not, I don't sing because I'm happy. I'm happy because I sing. So singing was the reason he felt happy. And I think that that's a good enough reason to do it, even if that's the only reason that you do it.
Exactly. Yeah, just to feel happy. Because in the end, what are we looking for in this life? Happiness is the ultimate goal. However, it's a journey. So it's not an ultimate goal that I'm going to reach when I will be 70. It's actually a state of mind and heart that we maintain all throughout our lives. But this is what we're seeking, right?
Yeah,
And if using your voice is a very easy way to do that and to reach it and to bring happiness in your daily life, I think it's a win win. We can do that. And especially if it's going to help you even more in your work, go for it. I always say
absolutely.
not everyone can and should be a professional, but everyone should sing because it just brings joy into the heart.
That's really good. And I actually read a book recently called The Happiness Advantage. And the book was able to show from a few studies that being happy helps you live longer and it helps you to solve problems better. It was so fascinating. So, if you're one of my new uh, offerings with to help people is actually about finding joy in your business, finding the soul in your business, and which is I think connected to why you start your business. What's that soul and that heart calling for? And when you find that, you are more likely to promote yourself. But we all get knocked down. So singing is something that you can do as a habit in your daily life that actually can support you the way that some people will do more yoga, some people will like to do sports. So we get attracted to some different things that are going to be supportive, but not a lot of people realize that just the singing is going to like that help you solve problems better. Tell us a bit more about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what I do, as you said, you help people find the soul in their business. In my case, it's about people finding the courage in their business and the confidence, and just helping them connect what's happening in the inside. So let's say the inner voice with the outer voice, because very often they feel they cannot express themselves authentically. They don't speak like who they really are, and maybe because they've been placed in all sorts of boxes by people, by society, even by their parents when they were childs. So they're like, I have this spark inside of me. I want to say something. I want to share my message, but I just do it like I don't know, at its half capacity, not fully, not being fully courageous to say what I want to share. And this is what I put the most focus on in my work because I know this is what will get you moving forward much quicker in your life and in your business as well, because they are intertwined, right? It's still you in your business. So to me, it's all about being free to be who you are and maximizing your gifts, and obviously, the voice is going to be a huge tool and pillar in this because if we think about this, it's a portal to the outer world. I mean, we have this opening, which is the mouth, and it literally takes out what we have inside into the world. It's if we can just imagine a light that's coming out of the heart, moving through the throat and spreading all across the world, it's a great way to share our gifts with this planet.
It's beautiful. And I do think that the voice is like that a manifestation tool because when we hold back from saying what we want, it's like we're holding ourselves back from taking that step forward. And even if it's only that you write down the thing that you want or that you
Yeah.
tell a friend, but that's a way of, it's a voice activated thing. I want this, or I will do this, or I can, or I'm finding a way, or I'm going to figure it out. And when you say it to yourself, I think as well, you feel it in your body.
Yeah.
And you're sending a vibration into the world. A vibration is very subtle and it has a ripple, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, vibration is very powerful. We all know how powerful that is. And voice is vibration in the end. And every single word or sound or melody that we make, it has a different type of vibration. And this is why it's so important to bring the power in your voice, because you will create a very strong vibration that will help you outline and manifest the reality that you want to create for yourself. And I definitely know what can happen if you don't do that, because I would keep things for myself years and years and years, and it eventually manifested into physical illness. So I've had vocal nodules 10 years ago because of that. And it took me quite a while to understand it was not just about, oh, maybe I need a better vocal coach. It was about not speaking up, not saying things when I wanted to say them, and just I would literally feel like this lump in my throat every time I wanted to say something, and I would keep it for myself. Well, that, let's say, spiritual lump that you feel will eventually become a physical lump, which is vocal nodules, right? So it
Yeah.
can have a lot of, it can cause a lot of physical harm if we keep doing it and we know it's not right for us.
Yeah, it's completely so true. And I think a lot of people don't feel safe
Yeah.
to say what they need to say. And if anybody out there is feeling that way, I really think there are safe spaces. And now it's getting much easier to find either the right coach that you can work with or the right community. Because I can sense a power in your voice, but when we say the word power, I think sometimes we think of it as loud or masculine or
Yeah.
strong, whereas I sense a power in your voice, but I also sense sweetness and gentleness and kindness and a loving energy. So I think that word power, maybe we need to take back a meaning of the word power, that it's also something that can be feminine and gentle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, the feminine energy is very powerful. So to me, power is not so much the ability to, I don't know, punch the sofa. It's more about the ability to move mountains with the energy that you bring in. And if you can do it in a very delicate and gentle and generous manner, it's even more powerful. So it's just the ability to help people and make an impact and do what you are really meant to do without any fear, with courage, and by knowing that you're doing what is right for you. To me, that is power. It's not necessarily being loud, because you've seen those people who are able to be very powerful and maybe become an authority in a room, and they don't have to be loud. You just feel it in the energy, and they just, all they have to say is just two words, and you're like, wow, I respect this person. They are like, I'm going to do as they say. This is very
Mm.
powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's absolutely amazing. And I think what you said there that's very important is this idea of alignment. Because when you do tune into that inner voice and that core values that you have within you, then I find that I don't get as self-conscious because I think I'm bringing out something that I really care about. Like it's a message that I have.
Yeah. You know, it's very interesting to notice how we evolve into adults, because children, they already know what they need to do, and they're always courageous to say things, to ask for what they want. Where does the disconnect happen, right?
Mm.
So I always say, let's go back to that place where we were very open to having conversations, to meeting new people, to saying what we wanted to say. You remember when we were kids, we would always say, oh, you want to be friends? Okay, let's be friends. Bye. But now, as an adult, it's very hard to do that, right? You're going to come off as weird, or I don't know. So, where does the disconnection happen? And I think it always goes down to the programming and to what we are told as adults. And these adults are, in the end, also wounded children. Whenever they project these traumatic experiences onto us, onto children, they are just projecting their own wounds as children. So it's a circle. But just healing this wound that's in relationship to voicing what's happening inside of you can contribute to healing others and yourself as well. This is how I feel about it.
I agree. And I feel like sometimes we're not accepted by the people closest to us in a way that actually makes us look for the acceptance elsewhere. So, like, I mean, our parents care about us so much that they actually they almost want to limit us because they're like, oh, where is my kid going to be safe? Where are they going to have like a job that's secure? Where are they going, like what suits, what would be good? Where can I see them? But
Yeah.
our parents aren't us, and we all, each of us have our own vision for our lives. And I think the real problem in childhood is we're told that adults know best. We're told that we need to get everybody to agree with what you want to do next. So if you wanted to set up your own business, you'd have to ask 10 friends. And if one of them said, oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea, then you don't believe in it yourself anymore. So knowing that you can maybe test what you want to do and from your heart move forward and find the new path for you without always thinking that other people need to understand that because they can sometimes they simply can't.
Yeah, yeah, it's true and it's perfectly normal. And yet, if we think about all of the success stories that we've heard about, none of them came from a place of being safe, being in comfort. All of them involve some risks, right? But this is the beauty of life because unless you are willing to take the risk, how will you know if you will be able to succeed? If you don't take the risk at all, you can be certain that the thing is not going to happen. But if you
Hmm.
take the risk, there is a chance, at least 50% chance, that you will succeed. And as you mentioned, not asking, always asking people, maybe you have this big dream and everyone else will tell you this is risky. You shouldn't do that. And I know, I think it happened to me in almost everything that I did. People would tell me, oh my God, how are you going to do it? This is too much. You cannot do it. And I was like, just watch me. I'm going to do it. And after that, they were like, you know what? I admire you. I didn't really believe you could do that. So when I started my business, I didn't tell anyone, like nobody. I was like, I'm going to do this because I know if I tell them, they will start again. You can't do it. You have too much going on, blah, blah, blah. So I just started it. And after a while, I was like, oh, yeah, I have a business. What?
Well, that is amazing. And you are an inspiration, Ziza. And I think, feel like we're soul sisters. We both have the same vision for the world that people start to value their own voices, trust their heart more. And I feel like, we can find that group of people around us that actually they want to support you and they want to be your friend. Like in this online playground, Ziza and I are great pals. And so we invite you all who are listening to come and be part of that playground with us and enjoy life in a different way, taking the few risks. And I think a lot of the time, the risk can be minimized, like as in we can test the waters, we can do market research and things like that. And, if you can give yourself a chance to try something new, then you find out much more if you really love it. And there's always going to be some negative in anything we do. So at least if you pick the thing you love, when you have any negativity come in, it's so worth it because you're enjoying it so much.
Yeah, and how can you enjoy the good if there isn't any shadow over there, right? How
Yeah.
will you be able to distinguish between them? And as you said, it's always, you can always find someone to support you or to give you a little bit of guidance in that risky area where you just went into to make sure that not everything goes wrong. So, yes, you can test, you can try out methods, you can learn how to do it, but unless you do anything at all, you won't know if this is for you or not. And in the end, life can be and it should be more about experimentation rather than just sticking to, oh, I need to get this one right from the first try. There is no punishment if you don't get it right from the first try, because who does? And there is no deadline. So you don't have to have anything done by the age of 30 or 40 or 50. You can start today. You can start tomorrow. You can change your mind 1 year later. It's fine. It's totally fine.
It's nice when you realize one of the classes I recently did, I give myself permission to not even ask for permission and to give
Yeah.
yourself permission just to like live. So the theme of our summit is to get unstuck in business using your voice. Do you believe it's possible to get unstuck in business using your voice?
Oh yes, 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 yes. Not just because this is what I do in my business and this is my specialty, but because I've seen how useful it is to everyone. And I really believe that the voice is a marketing tool that will never go out of fashion. Because maybe you have one type of, let's say, content on Instagram, one type of email marketing. I don't know what trend online. But in the end, the voice is versatile. So when COVID hit, everyone had to go online. The voice didn't suffer. You could still do virtual summits, right? You
Yeah.
can still do videos and they work fine with the voice. So it's versatile and adapts to every single new environment where you get to market your business. This is why I really believe it's a powerful asset that you have and it will never go out of fashion. And you can use it no matter what are the trends, no matter how the internet is going to change, it's still going to be there. Online, offline is there. You cannot live without it. And this is why I feel and believe that if this is the backbone of someone who's in their business, I mean, just imagine what it would look like to run your business without having your voice. It would be a complete nightmare, right? It means that this can help you get unstuck as well. It's a very powerful tool that you can use, and there are so many methods to do that depending on what your struggle is. But I really believe it can help you move forward.
And it's completely unique. And you've said this before. It's such a unique tool. So people, they actually, I think people kind of connect with your soul a little bit through the voice. They can feel like you can hear in someone's voice if they're harsh or impatient or angry. We all know what it sounds like when someone is angry, like their voice changes. So when we bring the love we have in our heart and our passion for our work and we speak from that place, people can really connect with that.
Yeah, you can just feel it. Sometimes it's very hard to explain it into words, but you can feel when someone's genuine, when someone has a beautiful energy in their voice, you can just feel it. And this is why sometimes it's much easier in terms of growing the business to, let's say, connect with people by having conversations rather than spending a lot of time sending out emails or writing social media posts. Those are useful. But I'm sure you've been in situations where you just had a conversation with someone and everything clicked from the very first second and you were able to create something awesome together. I mean, we are living proof of that.
Yes. Oh, I've had so much fun chatting with you, and I can't wait for the summit. It's happening on the 14th and 15th of May. This is in 2022, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your presentation, Ziza. Do you want to give anyone a little taste of what you're talking about?
Yes, absolutely. So the talk is going to be on how to communicate with power to grow your business with ease. We will go through, let's say, the principles of communicating powerfully with confidence and with clarity as well to make sure that we bring in the right people towards us and making sure that we have a very strong message around that. And I'm going to guide you through all of these principles in terms of speaking and showing up and building up your visibility. And then we will also do some singing affirmations in the end just to get you started with the mood for a very powerful summit. And I'm really looking forward to hear what everyone else has to say in this really amazing event that you've organized.
Thank you so much. We really are going to have a fun weekend. And it's free to register to join the summit live. And we do a VIP upgrade with gifts from each speaker, and then you'll get all the recordings. So there'll be a link with this video, and please let us know if you have any other questions. Join us live if you can. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much, Ziza, for joining us all the way from Romania. And I'm so honored that you're part of this summit.
It was a pleasure, Aideen. I cannot wait for it, and I will see you next week.